Hey, what's up, guys? Shadowlink793 here, and I'm here with another Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile on my favorite dueling archetype, the Cyber Dragons. OCG already has the new Cyber Dragon support, and I've been playing around with it for a couple of hours, and it is pretty fucking awesome. People have been talking about how Infinity is probably going to make the deck meta pretty soon, but I don't know. I mean, with all the things like Necros's, Burning Abysses, and especially all the newer stuff that's coming out, I'm not sure. But I'm not gonna deny this is a really good for support for them. So this is just the build I came up with. This is just the main build I'm using right now, and apparently it works pretty well so far for all I want to do. I've seen builds that focus solely on summoning Infinity, and I've seen builds that focus on summoning Rampage for OTK purposes. So this is kind of like a mixture of what I wanted to do. So because I wanted to use both of them. So bring up the array here. Let's get started, shall we? We have of course 3 Cyber Dragons. Duh. 3 cores again. Main searcher. 3 Cyber Dragon Drays. We make them all level 5. One cyber. I still taking 1 Elton in for field clearing. 2 Honest because he's at 2, and run over things. 2 Galaxy Soldiers. I'm not sure when that card's actually going to come over here to a TCG, or if it's even out in TCG. Please let me know if it's out in TCG already, because I don't see it anywhere. I usually take him 2 or 3, but I guess for right now I'm putting in 2. 2 Denko Sekas, because fuck back row. We hate back row in Cyber Dragon decks. Especially if we're playing like something with a full. If it's funny when you see people with a full back row have it all set up. They see that Denko and they're like, fuck. And if you don't see a warning, then you're pretty much going to swing at them for 17, and even more if you can power bond that. For me, sometimes when I get Denko is game. If they can't stop in my plays, then Denko just says fuck them to their back row, and they can't stop my power bond or whatever else I'm gonna do. Then that's a scoop phase for them. 2 Chronomaly Golden Jets because he's a machine. He's a searcher for repair plant, and also he can make himself level 5. So another target for rank 5 summoning your Nova, which is probably what we're gonna do most of the time. So we're gonna be going into Nova. We're going to be going into a lot of some other rank 5s, but mostly Nova because we want to go into that Affinity as soon as fucking possible. I made 2 Dark Holes now. Again, I needed more field clearing because this deck is about OTKing, so we want to clear field as much as possible. 2 Instant Fusions. You usually do this for Panzer Dragon. I usually run 3, but for this build I run 2. So I think in a different build that I probably show off some other time, this is probably going to be like that, but I don't know. Of course, I take 3 power bonds because it's one of my favorite cards ever. Makes a big ass beater, and if you can swing for game with it most of the time, which is this is what the purpose of this deck is, OTKing. 3 repair plants. It's a searcher and it's a recycler, and if you have 3s in grave, it's pretty much your searcher and recycler, like I mentioned in my last Cyber Dragon video. 3 MSTs, because we want to, you always need MSTs in every deck. Of course, if we want to clear out that 1 Vanities. Well, with Vanities at 1, I think that there's really not much with Vanities, Skill Drain, and a bunch of other, back row stuff at 1, it's like, there's really nothing that can really hit this deck too badly anymore. Skill Drain at 1, Vanity at 1, because that would slow them down. But thanks to those being at 1 at this format, this is probably going to be a much better deck in my opinion. So yeah, I only run 2 machine duplications because I hate drawing into a 3rd one. I hate drawing into these when I have nothing I can use for them in hand, and I basically have to wait on that core if I want to make the plays. So yeah, I've been around with 2 or 3 of these in previous builds. So usually I just run in 2 because 2 seems like a solid enough assumption to use them. 1 limiter removal, only allowed 1, and OTK for the win. 2 Night Beams, because Night Beam says fuck you to whatever card you're targeting, and they can't even chain to it, so that's even more back row hate. 2 Forbidden Lances for again, back row hate. Don't make them. It also helps lower your opponent's monster's attack. So Lance is a really good card. I've actually played this against heroes, and I couldn't do any of my plays because there was a Dark Law there. So you just summon a Cyber Dragon, and then you lance their Dark Law, and they really don't run any traps. So it's like you just run over their Dark Law, and you know the Dark Law would stop your plays in this deck. So yeah, that's a good thing. And this last 2 card is Fusion Conscription. And again, another card that hasn't come out yet that I really want, that I hope comes out in the next set or the set after. I don't care. This card is really good for this deck, is considering its main, considering it can make fusing for Cyber End or Cyber Twin or any of the fusions really fucking easier. Usually when you play any of them, that's the end right there. Just like too good. It basically searches out any fusion material monster you want. The only thing is you can't normal special summon that monster that turn, which isn't really that much of a loss, considering you're just gonna, if you have the right setup, you're just gonna fuse that turn. So it's like a free fucking searcher for your fusion material, which is what I think they really needed at this point. Even with our repair plans, I think they really needed this other searcher. So it's a really good card, and I hope it comes out in the next format or next set. So, anyway, with that said, the extra deck is pretty much the same as my last video, only a few changes. Cyber End Dragon I put at 1. Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon I put at 1. I feel like this deck is really hard to set up fucking extra deck for. I think we need to... I think it's really difficult to determine what to take out and what not to take out, because all the cards in here are pretty good. Cyber Twin, 1. I used to tech at 2, but I find that Rampage can do OTKs sometimes even better than Twin Dragon can, so I tech Twin Dragon at 1 now. I still tech in 1 Over Dragon in that rare instance that I use him. I side in Fortress Dragons, but they're not in. I haven't put them in this particular video as of this moment. So yeah, I don't think besides, if you get plays enough, Fortress Dragon won't be needed anymore. I think he's pretty much just my side now. 2 Panzer Dragons, your instant fusion targets for, you know, rank 5s. 3 Infinities, because this fucker is gonna make all the fucking plays. It's such a good card. This card has to come out soon. I want to play with this card. Wind-up Zenmayo for back row clearing. I don't know about this card anymore, considering that I pretty much make all the plays even before I use him, but I still take in 1. 1 Pallades, again, iffy on whether or not I want to keep this in. But it's still a really good card, and it's really helped me a lot in the past, so, you know, I gotta use that Pallades. And 3 Novas. I used 2 before, but with Infinity coming out, I decided to bump it up to 3, because this... With Infinity coming out, this card is even more amazing now. And 1 Artifact Durandal. It has 2 good effects. It has 2 really good effects, so I'm like, okay, well, why don't we do that? And mostly I use it for its second effect to shuffle my hand back and draw a new hand in case I get ass. But yeah, basically that's my Cyber Dragon deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you have any questions about the deck, please feel free to leave comments in the comment box, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Please let me know what you guys think about the support. Is it good? You think it's gonna be good? You think it's gonna make Cyber Dragons, I don't know, more competitive or whatever? Because honestly, I really like this deck, and I really hope to see Cybers doing something in the current meta, even though that's probably too much to hope for with Necros and all this other crap that's happening with the current meta right now. But I don't know. It's a nice fun deck though. So anyway, this is Shadowlink793 here, and I'll see you guys in the next video / Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile. So whatever I do. So later. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe.